And obviously the first welcome is to the First National Real Estate Cairns Central team. Love to have you here. And as tradition has it, and your partners who play a great part in this organisation. And that includes you, Nick. Where are you? You're actually part of our team. I'd also like to welcome our past team members and their partners, and it's great to have you back here again with us all today. To our network CEO, Ray Ellis, and his wife, our network events consultant, is that right? Events consultant, Ali Ellis. Fantastic to have you here. You've always been a great supporter of us and our team. A warm welcome to our lawyer, Glenn. Now, Glenn was introduced to us by Mark Carmody. Sorry, Glenn, that's who did it. And we bought a house from Mark in Clifton Beach, and Mark said, you've got to go and see this bloke to look after you. And while we were there, can you remember this? He snuck us through the office because he had some keys that he wasn't supposed to have. And he snuck us through the office, and that is now our office and has been for some time. So welcome. To our IT expert, where is he? First time I've ever seen him in long pants, isn't it? Kevin goes back even further because Kevin set us up with our computers in the rental property that we had in the very first time that we came to Cairns. So great to have. Sorry? When we rented through Jen. Yeah, so that was part of the family by then. Our bookkeeper, Amy, where are you, Amy? Right here. Yeah, no, she didn't have to stand up. No one else has.
I'm very proud to call David and Carol very, 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 very good friends. And my wife and I enjoy their company on every single occasion. That's why we wanted to be here tonight, to be able to celebrate with them. And I just like to, without embarrassing them, they want you to do a good job, have the excellence he's committed to, but at the same time, enjoy your day or your month or your 24 hours a day at work. And that's unique in any sort of business to be able to do that. And the fact that they came from the Northern Territory, the middle of friggin' nowhere, to Cairns for love and joy to be with their family, and created something that 10 years on, we can be here to celebrate tonight. As David said, as a credit to yourself, but also a credit to them. So well done to David and Carol. Thank you very much.
And I've actually, I've got some notes here, and I remember, and I've never mentioned this to Carol, although she did hear about it the other day. I remember in about July 2012, shaking the hand of the then Kevin Turner, who became our landlord, and committing us to a 9-year lease. And I can remember the actual lump in my throat at the time of doing that. I mean, he was such a gentleman. And the part that I find that really interesting is just recently, well, not just recently, for quite some time, but recently again, Carol reminded me that I said that we'd only do this for 5 years. So I find it curious that we walked out having shaken a hand for a lease for 9, and here we are for 10 years. So I don't know whether I should say sorry or not. The real estate industry is an interesting industry, and I don't know anybody that has left home, moved to another city, in this particular instance about 1,500 kilometres away, and then just started a real estate agency. And it's not an easy thing to do. Mostly what happens is it's usually salespeople, because they're the ones with the biggest ego. Salespeople work for an organisation. Did you like that, Nick, did you? Was that, who said that? Who was it? Anyway, Luke, yeah. And what normally happens is a salesperson works for an organisation for some years and then pinches, some listings and contacts, and then goes out and starts their new agency. But we didn't know anyone, and we started up fresh. Now, you might ask me why, or us why we're mentioning that, and it's certainly not to pump up Carol or my tyres. It's to make you recognise what you've achieved. You actually did this. There is absolutely no way Carol and I could have done this without what you have all put in. And we thank you for that. What we've done is unprecedented and it is bloody hard. So I thought I'd figure out, well, what have we done? And I looked at the Domain.com July report for Cairns. And sales, we're ranked 8 out of 101 agencies. Rentals, we're ranked 1 out of 57. We have 307 Google reviews and a rating of 4.5, which is fantastic. And to be quite honest with you, I didn't bring my drink out here, but that deserves a drink, gang. I've thought about, and Carol and I discussed this, about individual comments, but you just don't want me up here or us up here all night talking about you all, because that's what we could do. There's so much that you've done. But what I thought is, we'd like, oh, thank you. Righto, let's have a drink. We'd like you to just spend a few seconds thinking about your first day with First National Real Estate Cairns Central and the journey that you've had. I know Carol knows this story, I remember our early days absolutely vividly. We started off with a team that we'd basically bought. They came with the rent roll. And we had a receptionist that could hardly talk, which is not a great attribute for a receptionist, remember? She was like a little wallflower. She grew up a bit more later on. Now she's the mother of how many? 3 kids. We had a property manager that had turned up after spending a day or a night in hospital because she'd fallen down the stairs of Gilligan's absolutely paralytic. That wasn't Jen. I said, no, don't worry, I haven't forgotten Jen. We had I suppose you'd call her a little cute blonde property management assistant. Called Daisy. And Daisy was famous because she had the best pig dog in Mirrawinny. And then to top it off, the person that we'd hired to be our boss of property management was on holiday. She came back and joined us about 2 or 3 days later, and she had a scar on her nose from eyebrow where the scope on the rifle had belted her in the face while she was up the Cape shooting pigs. We seriously wondered what we had got ourselves into. And we'd just come from the Northern Territory, and that's supposed to be the Wild West. It's not always been an easy road, and we've had difficulties both personally and in business. But what's always impressed Carol and I is how that we've actually been able to overcome those issues together. We've had some people that have stolen from us. We've had some people that have demeaned us. And we've had some people that just didn't deserve to be part of us. But what amazes Carol and I is the unbelievable support that you guys have shown us and loyalty that you guys have shown us along the way. And what I say here and what we say is you are all extraordinary people. So it's at this point that we probably should reflect a little bit. So I thought about some of the issues that we've had. And I thought, right, let's start off with all the car write-offs. Because, I mean, we run a fleet of cars and they're constantly turned over. Jess Skinner, I was not on the phone. Managed to plough so far up the back of another car that the tow bar went through the motor. Renee Wijanakni, she had a chilling accident with a Katrina in the car, but thankfully both people were not injured or not injured badly, but it was a terrible one.
You know that Channel 7 news article?
Is it really?
Because like you're on the news, it's
It was nearly a news article about an assault and battery, I believe. Where is he? Where's Marvin? and I got to tell you, the guy deserved it, mate. Katrina Gobbett. Now, I'm not sure. Are you up for two? Two. Writes off 2 cars. Well, that's the first time she's admitted that. Anyway, thankfully no serious injury there. Lukey Luke, was I doing something illegal at the time? I'm not sure. Lukey Luke rode off his beautiful Mercedes. Shane, I was T-bone, but what colour was the light? And I came close when someone decided that they wanted to park their car in the boot of my car. Righto. Who's had a speeding fine?
Oh, where's Tanisha?
Renee, I know you have. Tanisha. But I got to tell you, none of you beat the boss. Carol managed to... Carol managed to get 2 speeding fines within 2 minutes of each other from the same place.
Can I tell you, I found out that they take a photo of the front of your car and then they send you another envelope with a photo of the back of your car.
No.
It's amazing they take photos. You've got 2 fines.
One was going in, one was coming out. Not so much frivolity, and more importantly, Richmond won 3 premierships. Back to back included. I thought it was, what was that, Adam? What I thought I'd talk about also was part of our organisation, part of our culture has been our social club. And we've really enjoyed that, haven't we?
Oh, I love it.
But we've got a problem. We've got a problem. We've got a definite problem because we have sat in our boardroom, I don't know how many times, to try and work out what we're going to do in the social club. Will we go and do go-karting? Will we do paintballing? Will we do laser tag? Will we do any kind of thing? Nah, never works. The only thing that we constantly do together is eat and drink. You got to say, what does that say about us? Carol and my vision when we first started this organisation was to create a business that was comfortable to work in, that was respectful of each other, professional, it was accountable. We always wanted that word accountable so that we could actually own up for our own activities. And ethical, obviously, and we were always wanting to seek excellence in the services that we offered. And we figured that there was one really important aspect that we needed to do in order to achieve that, and that is to surround ourselves with great people. We believe we've done that, and we've done that with you. We thank you from the bottom of our hearts, and we look forward to continuing the journey with you. And finally, I'd like to say thank you to the team that organised tonight. You've done a fantastic job. Katrina and Patrice, and Carol, you've had a little bit to do with this. I'd like to thank the great team at Chambers. They're looking after us brilliantly, absolutely brilliantly. And Talis behind the camera, thank you so much. And to finish up, in the great words of the Australian boxer, we love yous all.